All right. I'm gonna stop it right there. I don't want to play too much of this, but I did want to play that one moment to open our show today of the crowd starting to sing John Cena sucks with John Cena's theme song. Oh my God, that was the moment where I knew like this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
But welcome everyone to episode number 153 of the Malapert Smark Podcast. I got Vlad, the wrestling expert, and Robert, the frozen Asian, here to discuss a momentous historical week. Sorry, I just got off work, so I'm a little mentally adjusting to being on this podcast. But yes, so the Cena explanation that we've been waiting for since the heel turn. It's been a couple weeks, and finally Raw was in Belgium, and we got the promo. So, okay, let's start the show today. That's our first topic. Let's go to our blog post, the Malapert Smark, episode number 153. Sorry, there it is. Review blog post. I'll put this in the description if you guys want to follow along. This has our topics for the day. And yes, how could we not start with John Cena on Raw, right, guys? I mean, I don't want to give like a whole like explanation of everything he said. It was a lot. I assume people seen it. You should go see it if you haven't seen it, because it was goddamn epic, especially considering if you followed his career and know how far we've come to get here. But okay, so no time limits on our first topic today. You guys can speak for as long as you want about this, but opening comments, because I will go through some of the lines he gave, and we'll break it down a little bit more in depth. But I guess just general thought. Oh, you know what? Before I get your thoughts, Vlad, I'll just go to our reviews. So for anyone who doesn't know, we review storylines here on our show, and we have a review system which goes like this, just based on how we like it. And we are very rarely out of this range of 2 thumbs up and 2 thumbs down. Once we go out of this range, it's like, oh, we really liked it or we really hated it. So yes, John Cena's heel turn speech promo and his thing with Cody and everything. My rating, I gave it a +10. I gave it a mind blown. I'll just tell you guys right now, before I break down everything I thought of it. I mean, I would never thought I would see this. I was just looking at it the whole time, like with my mind blown. So how could I not give this a mind blown? 10 points on our review scale. Vlad and Robert both, this was fire, so 5 points, which is way above normal for us. We hardly ever give above 2 thumbs up or loved it. So this is fire. 5 points. That's still a really great score. So, okay, Vlad, you can start, and I will be playing slides of John Cena's epic promo while you speak on this, please.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm happy to talk about this. This was incredible. I think you're right. As soon as the music hit and the crowd reaction, you knew that we were about to see something special. I think what made it even more impactful is the crowd, the fact that they're in Europe and Belgium. I think this specific show was at, right, Belgium. So that added to the atmosphere, added to the promo, added to why this was maybe one of the great heel promos of all time, honestly. I mean, you could easily say that. It was incredible. It was incredible. But, of course, it helps of, like who the person is. People that have followed Cena know his career, we're watching wrestling during his incredible babyface run for, like, 10 years, basically. Probably even a little bit longer, honestly. But
did you give up on him turning heel? Like, that's why this is so incredible to me, because I gave up on it. Like, this is something I never thought I'd ever see.
Yeah, I mean, we discussed it when it first happened. We were all hoping that it would have happened during maybe the peak of his career, or when he was actually a everyday, wrestler. But this works really well for me too, and yeah. Give up on it, but I'm happy it happened. I'm happy they went with it because it sets up incredible TV. And I mean, he said a lot of things, which I guess you said we're going to dissect some of it at least. Some of it was gold. Some of it I was like, really? Wow. Whoa. I was like, whoa. And there was a lot. And I mean, and then Cody came in and did his piece, which I thought was also great. I want to talk about a piece that wasn't involved in this promo, or wasn't involved at all in this, which was The Rock piece, but I think we could save that maybe, or we could talk about that separately. But as far as the promo itself, it was gold. It was tremendous. I loved it. Definitely credit to the crowd, who was electric. To Cena, who's amazing. Just knocked it out of the park. And Cody.
Oh yeah. Okay. What about that crowd, man? They had ridiculous comebacks, and they were in such unison. Like they knew exactly. How did that happen? I don't even understand how they were just knew exactly how to cheer exactly the right thing. Well, yeah. Was it just one guy in the crowd that started singing something, and then everyone else went along with it? Like it was nuts.
I don't. Yeah, somebody must have started it. But I like how they did the whole Cena sucks, or let's go Cena thing that they've been doing this whole career, basically, right? That was awesome. And then at some point they were like, you know what? F it, F this guy. Cena, that was tremendous. That was tremendous. That was tremendous. And I mean, and then the shots to the crowd of the little kids wearing the Cena stuff, gold. The one specifically that Robert has the screenshot of is tremendous. It's just amazing, right? So overall, one of the great things I've seen in wrestling in a long time. So I'll leave it. That's it. I don't want to take up all the time, so I'll give it to Robert.
Robert, yes, please. Your general thoughts on this segment?
Oh, boy. Well, the promo on its own, without the crowd, I probably would have liked it enough to give it an I loved it rating, but the crowd just made it that much better.
Yeah.
Man, this was incredible. Man, I know we've been waiting for him to finally give his explanation, and I don't know how many weeks it was, but it was worth the wait for sure. This was incredible. The crowd was absolutely hot for this. I was hanging on to every single word John Cena was saying.
Yeah,
amazing. So there were many different ways that he could have explained his turn. And then, and I know you had your prediction as to what he was going to say, and I more or less agreed with you too, but I wasn't quite sure. I didn't expect him to go this route. Not at all. I didn't expect him to turn on the fans, especially the ones that are chanting "Let's go Cena." I didn't see coming.
Even
wow, really? I'm like, wow, you're saying that the people that say "Let's go Cena" are even worse than the ones that say Cena. Okay, did not see that coming. He brings up a lot of stuff that happened throughout his career. So people who've been following his career, you know what he's talking about. You know what he had to go through with the fans. So all this resentment that he's talking about, I don't know if he's really, really, really feeling it, but he did an amazing job of making it believable that he really feels that way towards them, and that's that he's been harboring these feelings for decades. This is amazing. But somewhere, Bray Wyatt must be looking down, proud at what John Cena has become, and been like, "I knew you got it in you. I knew it." Dude, this is really good, man. The promo was awesome. The crowd was perfect for this.
Nobody's mentioned Cody's part when Cody entered.
Yeah. I know. That's crazy. That I haven't even mentioned Cody's name yet.
Yeah, any comments about Cody? Was his part? I mean, his part I thought was pretty fire too. His line about he wanted to face John Cena at this WrestleMania, not this little whiny ass bitch. So,
right, but it goes to your point that you mentioned earlier that we pretty much had given up on Cena turning heel, and it finally happened. right? Like there's not much that Cody could say at this point. I mean, he's saying some really good things, but nothing that we haven't already heard from him. It's kind of predictable, still good, but it's really what we want to hear from Cena. Like that's what we're curious to hear, right? And that's what we got. So yeah, man. I don't know. Well, I'm kind of wondering now, like, as good as this was, I was like, man, Vince McMahon, you've been holding out on us. You've not let Cena turn heel for over 2 decades. He clearly would have been an amazing heel, no matter when he turned. So
he would have been the best heel in the company.
Exactly. So for sure. So like this is what we've been missing out on for 2.5 decades.
Yep.
Damn you, Vince.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I could see clear differences in philosophical booking, in the philosophies of their booking between Vince and Triple H, since Triple H is taking over. Triple H seems to give the fans what they want. Like, he knows what they want. He's like, I'm going to give it to them. Which seems to be what wrestling should be, right? Why wouldn't you give the fans what the fuck they want so they can come back? Vince never wanted to do that. Like,
Vince's idea was always seemingly, they're not going to always like what I put out there, but I'm going to make them like it by shoving it down.
Or that it was best for business. I mean, I guess I see that. Like, it's not always best for business to just let the babyface win because it would make the fans happy on that night. You know what I mean? There's a balance, and I don't think Triple H has quite found that balance because I think sometimes he lets too many babyfaces win. This one, okay, this one was a slam dunk, though. Like, to give us Cena's heel turn. Cena's career's winding down, and he was willing to pull the trigger, so good. Okay, so I have a transcript. I don't want to play the whole thing. But I also don't want to really read the whole thing. But
a lot.
Yeah, so I can read some of it or some lines that I underlined here earlier today, and see if any of it is interesting to us or if any of it sparks a comment from anybody here. But let's see. All right, so he started out. His first line was, what was his first line? Was this it?
I think it's something like
someone pretty grounded in life.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't have to look outside themselves.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
For proof. So that's what. And then they start booing him. He goes, "You are making this so easy for me." That's when he kind of turned his demeanor, as they were booing him. He says, "I've been a victim of an abusive relationship."
Fucking fantastic.
All you do is be hurtful, all you are is abusive, and all you've ever done is bully me into being your damn puppet and expected me to go with a smile on my face. Oh, you let me know really loud that you hated me. Yeah, moments of embarrassment, moments of shame, just like this, as the crowd boos him. I'm not going through this line for line, but I'm just kind of the ones that really stood out to me. Each one of these idiots is proving my point with every breath. My point is, no matter what I do, it is never enough, and you should all be ashamed of yourself. All you ever do is take, and you take. You only care about yourselves. By the way, I used an AI to get this transcript. I didn't do it myself, thankfully. I didn't have to write it line for line. Yeah, but this is great. This is great to have. I should probably post this somewhere, but maybe I'll make a blog post about it with the transcripts of Cena's promo. But not one of you sons of bitches ask me how I feel. You know, I don't think that this is really how Cena feels. I think Cena knows that it would have been the right thing for him to turn heel back in the days. You know what I mean? He would have done it. So I don't think he hates or he has a real hatred for the audience for just wanting him to turn heel back in the days. You know what I mean? He probably more likely agrees with them, I think. Let's see. Anybody have any comments on that, though? I know Vlad said no. I don't think that's really how he feels. Robert, did you think that this was a real promo? Was it a shoot, or do you think he was working?
Some of it maybe, but again, like I said before, he did a really good job of, making it sound believable that he really feels this way. He also mentioned that he's not either a baby face or a heel; he's a human being.
Oh yes.
Yes,
That's another thing he said.
That's another thing he said. So. Yeah. I don't know if you're fine with him using that terminology, Vlad, babyface or heel, but okay.
The genie's out of the bottle at this point. I think that ship has long sailed. Everybody's already, not killing the business, but exposing it, if you will. So that ship has sailed. No, but there was a part where he kept saying, like what the fans deserve or what they don't deserve. Like, you deserve nothing. I love that. I love the whole thing. The whole thing.
Yes, you deserve nothing. He said the only thing you get is to take a long look in the mirror to see how awful each and every one of you has been for 25 years to me.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, I think, how much of it was real, I think there probably is some part of him that there was some resentment towards the fans the last 15, 20 years. I'm sure. There had to have been some, but overall, no, I don't think he feels this way. But, there's probably some elements of truth where he could at least cut a promo and make himself believe it in the moment, Yeah.
Let's see. The crowd starts chanting for Cody, and he goes mentioning Cody. Of course, your brand new shiny toy, because you're about to put this one out to pasture. Every breath you prove my point, that you're awful people. And that's every single person in this room. Let me see. I'm on page 2 now, by the way. I'm on page 2. Let's see. Sorry about this. It's a long transcript. Okay, so let me see. I'm skipping a little forward, but he goes, "You are pathetic. Oh, you don't want to hear this. This is tough for you. Oh, you're not ready to hear this. You're not ready to lean into an uncomfortable conversation. The truth is, you don't wear this for support." He's talking about people wearing Cena shirts. "You wear it to make you feel good. You wear words like hustle, loyalty, and respect. I live them every day." Okay. Let me see. All right, I want to skip to the good part. He goes, "Well, listen. I'm breaking up with you. I'm done. I'm breaking up with every single person. Whether you like me or you don't, you're dumped. I don't need you anymore. I don't care about you, and you don't matter to me. And here's the thing. There's no noise you can make. There's nothing you can do, because you know I'm right, and you know you are wrong." Nice. All right. Cody. Okay. So Cody... All right, anyone want to say something, or should I jump to what?
I just want to say real quick, I know we talked about potentially turning back before the end of, I don't know how that's possible after a promo like this. Talk about, turning back to babyface when he retires. I don't know now if that can happen. You cut a promo like this, that sticks with somebody for a while. You might not have the time to turn back now. I don't know. Now I'm not so sure. I mean, they could still do it. Of course, they could do anything. No. I'm just saying, you cut a promo like this, it usually, in a perfect world, he would be heel for the next couple of years, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, anyway. Cody came out, and he was trying to, reverse what he was saying, like saying you don't need the people. Okay, let me read what Cody said. He said, first of all, I think everyone was willing to hear you out, even myself. Sure, they've given you their worst. They might have given you their worst, but they've also given you their best. You see, so he's trying to play the crowd side.
Sure.
Is that something?
But any babyface would.
Yeah, maybe that's him trying to convince Cena, like, no, you're wrong. Like, this is part of his turn back. You know what I mean? Like, no, there was a faction of the crowd that did cheer for Cena. For everyone who said Cena sucked, there was someone who was saying, let's go Cena. That's right?
True. But they're awful people.
Yeah, I don't know. That part was a little the explanation for why Cena said, those people suck too. I don't know if I buy all that completely. That was just more like damn, he's really going all the way with this, to the point where I'm like, yeah, that's why this blew my mind. You know what I mean? Like, there was no reason to fuck with the Cena people. And then Cody ends with his line, I was excited at the prospect of going week to week, face to face with John Cena. Instead, I got this. Yeah, so go find John Cena. I want to wrestle him at WrestleMania 41, not this whiny bitch. Okay. All right. All right, then.
Yeah.
Final comments. I know we've milked this, and this is a great thing to talk about.
No, I don't think we've done enough, honestly. No, we've done great. I'm
okay.
Sorry. Robert, did you want to say something? Because I just wanted to mention the thing with The Rock, or The Rock not being even mentioned at all in the promo. Or
yeah, I was going to ask you what the hell you're talking about. Like, what Rock? He wasn't there. I go, yeah, what are you talking about?
Well, obviously he wasn't there, but I saw that. I don't think The Rock is the new John Cena. I think I can still see The Rock. But no,
yeah, I was wondering, did I miss a segment on my review, or what the fuck happened? But okay, yeah, no Rock.
The point I was going to make, and a lot of people that have reviewed the segment have made, like, The Rock wasn't mentioned because he was so part of the turn. Asking the question, should he have been mentioned as part of the promo at all? Given that it seems like Cena was working with The Rock. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think he should have been mentioned, but I also think that the whole thing doesn't really work if The Rock's not involved. A lot of people are saying, like, it would have been just fine if The Rock was never in it at all and just Cena turn heel. I'm like, well, it wouldn't have completely made sense for him to just turn heel if he, unless he was working for somebody that's actually in the board of directors, right? That actually makes more sense to me, at least for me. But I just wanted to throw that out there and what you guys thought. Should The Rock have been mentioned in this promo at all? No, I don't think so for me. But he should be definitely mentioned going forward for the rest of the feud, is my opinion, at the very least.
Well, yeah, Cody did him a favor not mentioning how he sold out like a bitch to The Rock. But he did call him a bitch, though. But okay, so Cena, I mean, obviously, I think this merited him just standing alone on himself because it was such a momentous occasion. So for that reason, yeah, they don't have to mention The Rock or have The Rock be there. But just to mention for people who haven't listened to our last episodes or something, like what I expected Cena to say in terms of what we got was that I thought he was going to toe the line. I didn't think he would rip the crowd apart. I thought he was going to say, you know what, I had to do this. I want to win that 17th title and become the greatest of all time. And I need this help. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I haven't won a match in 2,000 days or whatever the fuck it is. How many years he hasn't won a singles match? So I thought that would have been an easy explanation. Like, look, I'm sad to do this, but I'm just going to do it. It would have been a heel turn still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but instead he went full Hogan. Heel turn. He went NWO Hogan all the way.
I think Cena probably has more of a logical reason to turn than Hogan did, because I think more people boo. Like, the smart fans were booing Hogan, but a lot of people booed Cena. Like, half and half booed Cena. Like 50% of the crowd. So Hogan was like, okay, yeah. Some of the crowd didn't know what he was talking about when he was saying some people were booing him. Like, he was never a heel. He was never a bad guy, and he never got it like Cena got it.
Not like
on
Cena
TV.
Got it. No, not like close. Cena got it. Not like Cena got it, but he was getting some boos during right prior to the turn, for sure. He was. It was, people were kind of already sick of the red and yellow Hogan, and especially in WCW, who didn't like him to begin with, honestly. Considered him a WWF guy in the first place. So yeah.
Okay. So one last comment I'll make. I think it was worth it for them to wait the 2 weeks and do this in Belgium for some reason. But because these Belgian fans, they went along with it perfectly. Like, if they did it somewhere in America, maybe the fans would have cheered him because they're happy. Yeah. No, these guys went along with exactly what kayfabe you would want the crowd to be doing, exactly. And it was perfect because of that.
Plus, also the American crowds, they would not have been this loud.
No.
They would not have made this much noise at all.
Yeah.
All right, well, if anyone doesn't have any other comments, I shall move on from our first topic of the day.
No, that's it.
All right, cool. Let's move on back to my blog post. Let's see, I did this earlier at work. So I've already made our list of topics. We're going to do some classic retro review stuff at the end of this show. but I'm going to run through a couple topics of some other things that happened on the week in WWE and AEW. This is the week in WWE and AEW, by the way. We'll cover a little bit of AEW. Believe it or not, AEW made news. The third member of the Shield, who is the other two are in the segment we're talking about now, but Moxley fucked himself up. And we'll get to that, I think, next.
Boy.
We'll get to that next. But first, let's do what's happening on SmackDown. Okay, so our SmackDown review, the complete review, is in the description below. For anyone out there who's been living under a rock and doesn't know that the Malapert Smark Podcast reviews every storyline from every wrestling show on television. On our blog posts, you could go to our YouTube posts tab and you could see every blog post that we do. And Vlad and Robert join me on a lot of them. Some of them I do on my own. But for SmackDown, Vlad and Robert definitely do it because this is a big show. But yeah, so we've done our review of SmackDown already. We've posted it. It's in the description below if you want to go through every storyline. But for the purposes of today, I just want to jump to the triple threat stuff with CM Punk and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. So let me jump to this. We're scrolling through some other good stuff that happened on SmackDown, by the way. I'll mention some of this later on in my honorable mentions. But okay, so Roman, Seth, and Punk pull apart ends this edition of SmackDown. Before I go through what happened real quick and some slides, I'll show our ratings. Looks like I got a thumbs up from me, 2 thumbs up Robert, and Vlad is in between us with a thumb and a half. So, okay, Vlad liked it. He didn't like it quite enough to give it 2 thumbs up, but he gave it an extra half point there. All right, so I think maybe you guys can help jog my memory of some of the things that was said, but I'm going to play some of the slides for you guys to talk over this. So let me see. I'll start with Robert, but give me 1 second, Robert. Sorry. I gotta pull up my SmackDown footage because I'm still on Raw over here. All right, here we go. So Roman came out, and Robert.
Mm-hmm.
So triple threat match. I want to hear your thoughts, and I'm gonna be playing some of the slides of what happened while you're talking for the audience here. So you go ahead, man. It's all you.
Okay. So I was ready to actually love this. I was expecting to give this I loved it rating, but so I watched this live, right? And then so I was looking at the time and I saw that there's only 15 minutes left in this show when the first entrance, I don't remember, but I think it was Roman that came on first. I forgot, yeah. I was like, there's only 15 minutes of it, left on this show, so it's not going to be that long. I thought they were going to dedicate the whole final half an hour for this. So I was a little bit worried, and we'll get to that. And then of course, Roman took his time getting into the ring, right? Then Seth Rollins also takes his time soaking in the fans singing his horrible theme music. So I'm like, there's a lot of time that's wasted on just the entrances, right? But so I wanted to like this a lot more actually, but I still did enjoy this a lot. There was I just think that they could have given it more time, to say some more stuff, right? They didn't get that much in as far as microphone time, and even CM Punk only talked for maybe half a minute. But yeah, I mean, once the brawl started, I was like, okay, cool, it's on, and and there's still time to build this up to WrestleMania, so I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty more that's going to be said that wasn't said in this segment. But I still liked it as it was. I expected to love it, but I still liked it a lot.
All right, let's jump to Vlad. Vlad, what do you think of this? Thumb and a half. So you liked it. You almost liked it a lot, but what's going on? What are you thinking of this?
Yeah, I think there were elements of they could have given them more time, like Robert was saying. It's pretty much the 3 of their biggest stars in the company. It's already a 3-hour show. They could have timed this a little bit better somehow. I don't know. It was kind of odd because there's a lot of stuff on SmackDown that could have definitely been cut for their 3 biggest stars that are going to have a triple threat at WrestleMania. That's just me. What do I know? I mean, I'm not the producer. I'm not the director. I'm not creative, but for sure I would have.
That's how it always used to be on Nitro, man. We watched 3 hours of shit, and then they would there would be 5 minutes left, and their world title match would start. And there was a big melee. We gotta go. We're out of time.
Yeah, but yes, but also WCW at that time was better at showing some stuff throughout the show. And then, but these two guys basically just came out at the end, I mean, look, it was a cool brawl at the end. That's what I liked about it. It's the three, like I said, three of the biggest stars. I'm invested in all three characters. They're all tremendous wrestlers, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a fantastic WrestleMania, match. Even though I don't love the triple threats, like I said. But given the guys involved, how can anyone not be invested, So it was cool. I mean, I don't really remember anything earth-shattering being said as far as promos-wise. I can't really remember anything off the top of my head. It's oh my god, this was said. This is unbelievable. But yeah, I enjoyed the segment, especially them just brawling it to the show.
CM Punk did say the very last thing that CM Punk did say was he thanked Paul Heyman for delivering Roman Reigns to him on a silver platter. And then
that's great.
That made Roman Reigns turn around and then look at Paul Heyman like, what's he talking about? And that's when the brawl started. Yeah,
that's right.
So he's CM Punk is trying to plant the seed of doubt in Roman's head that something's going on.
What about when Seth Rollins said, "Oh, we're going to have to take care of this like we used to in the old days." And then he starts taking his clothes off for some reason, right? And then Paul Heyman with his face like this. What the hell was happening here? So some people thought this was very weird. But okay, that's the only comment I'll give.
I thought, did he mean that means, I thought that meant that they were in a fight. I didn't take it any other way.
Okay, yes. Moving along. I'm gonna move along. That's it, right?
I think Kahan just has a sick mind.
I wasn't the one that said this. I was seeing this all over Twitter and YouTube posts. But
maybe Twitter has a sick mind. I don't know.
Well, look, it was a good pull apart for three. I know the pull apart we've been saying has been overused recently.
Oh yeah.
In Triple H's WWE. But these were three really good guys, and it shows when there's high quality wrestlers, it can look better. That looked like a good pull apart. So
yeah.
Okay, moving along. Next one. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got next. Let's pick up the pace because we got some topics to get through. I do want to do my retro Raw review for the week.
Ooh,
but we do got.
Speaking of sick minds.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about John Moxley on AEW Dynamite. So AEW got in the news this week. I don't know if it's for good reasons or not, but let's jump to our Dynamite review. It's in the description below, the whole thing. But we're going to jump to storyline number 4 for our purposes of the world title match. I think, was anyone expecting a possible title change here? Or no.
No.
I mean, we didn't get it at the pay-per-view with Cope, and it turned into a 3-way with the Christian cash-in. And then here we go again. So, let's see. Before I get your ratings, this time I'll do the video first. Let's show the clips. And
do we have to? Okay, fine.
Yes, we have to. Well, for this one, there was just one thing that happened that was really momentous. The match, nobody cares about the match. The match went off the rails. There was 100 run-ins. I'm not even going to go through what happened in detail. Cope didn't win the title, but he took out Spike. And in my opinion, this segment made Spike famous because up until now, Spike was always a bullshit fucking weapon that never actually got used. It just came out and it looked scary, but he never cracked someone with it, But he started by actually cracking Moxley in the back with it, which looked like it hurt. Okay, that's a good bump. That's not bad. Even that looked really fucked up. I was like, so then Spike was on the floor. This this weapon that Edge uses in his career from time to time. They didn't call it Spike. I don't know if they called it Spike, but in WWE it was called Spike. And he suplexes Moxley onto it, and Moxley's gonna get stuck on there. And I don't know if they had planned for it to go this way, but it did go into the meat of his back. So it got stuck there, real good, real good. This has been something people have been talking about for a few days. I've seen a lot of thumbnails of reactions of just oh my god, my god, and Moxley milks it pretty good because if you're gonna have this on video, you better make it look good. Shit. I feel bad for the guy, man. The guy's a recovering alcoholic. He obviously has been through a lot of pain in his life in wrestling. But he did make the news here. Like, this was such a fucking freaky thing in wrestling that everyone was talking about it. Literally everyone. So, do I have... Oh, I guess I didn't... Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I did. I thought I didn't have the part where they're trying to yank it out. So, here, Wheeler Yuta comes in.
It would have been alright if he didn't, but it's okay.
Yeah, well, he gives Edge the knee, and then Wheeler comes in, and Wheeler, Wheeler broke kayfabe here, because he was actually caring for Moxley. Like, if it was really like, these guys were Death Riders, he should have just yanked it out, but the referee is trying to, like, hold Moxley's meat down, while Wheeler gives up. Like, he's like, no, this is weird, dude, I'm gonna pull off, like, his whole back. So Wheeler gives up. And he runs off, and he goes and gets involved with Edge and takes a power bomb from Edge. So the referee, I think, yanks the fucking thing off of his back, and then Death Riders come in, and then the whole thing goes off the rails. But the story here was Moxley's back, dude. It was pretty wild. This was pretty wild. Okay, so let's see if this made any of our panelists give this a good rating on our review system. So as we go down on our review blog post, by the way, Christian's patriarchy ended up costing Cliff. After all that happened. After all this shit. These are all the details. Look at all the details of this match, of this street fight that I wrote down. God damn. This is like a comprehensive book report. But okay, so it got everyone a thumbs up from this. So I guess it worked, right? It was worth it. Let's start with Vlad this time. Vlad.
So it was worth.
It was worth it.
It was worth getting a staph infection or God knows what to get a thumbs up from me. To get
yes. Yeah, one. It wasn't even a 2 thumbs up, just the regular thumbs up. But it wouldn't have been that if it wasn't, right? If he didn't do that, would you have even given this?
Why did he do it at the pay-per-view? Why did he do this on some Dynamite at the 9 o'clock hour? I don't know. If he was going to do it anyways, might as well have done it on a pay-per-view. But what do I think of it? I mean, I think he's insane. I think he's psychotic. I think he's a horrific wrestler. I mean, nobody should be nobody should be doing this to themselves, obviously, because what purpose does it serve, especially in the situation that AEW currently is in. But I will give him credit in a sense for having the balls to do it, because because I don't think anybody in the right mind would. There has to be something mentally wrong with you to do it. I'm sorry, and I guess there is, and he is, and he took it, and it was a moment that will live. And definitely when they talk about the best or worst of AEW, they'll be mentioning this moment for sure. So I don't know what else to say, but it was definitely memorable. It was a spectacle. And I give him, I guess the reason I gave it a thumbs up is because it took some balls to do it. Because
but that's incredible that it took that, though, because you normally would not give a good rating just for something that is just fucking disgusting and painful. Like, that's not normally your thing, right? This was so wild. You're like, man, how can I not? You see, you even said it in your comment here, for taking that spike to the back, I'll give it a thumbs up. Like literally just for that. So okay.
Well, I also said if he took it to the face, all our problems would be solved. But
but you're only joking there, Vlad. You're only joking.
Well, okay. But no, I will say this. I mean, I started to debate like, did they do something to the like? Do you guys think that was like actual steel spikes? Like for sure those were steel spikes, or did they do something?
Oh man, I hope not.
But I mean, obviously there was something sharp enough to go into his skin.
Yeah,
right?
What does it matter if they were steel or not? It penetrated the skin. That's it. Robert, let me hear your thoughts.
Go ahead, Robert.
Boy, oh boy. Okay, well, in a week that included that incredible John Cena heel promo, as I was watching Dynamite, I was thinking, okay, well, AEW has to come up with an idea that'll definitely stick. I didn't think that they would come up with one that would do it literally. My goodness.
It's definitely stuck.
It's stuck, all right. Oh my goodness.
Well, this is what we were talking about last week. You remember when I said, when a company does something like this, should the other company step up their game? Like when one company does a Cena heel turn, what does the other company do?
You would think that they should do something, right?
This is what they thought of. This is what they
okay. Yeah, this is what they thought of. This idea stuck, literally.
Oh my God.
Man, I don't know, dude. Moxley is one crazy MFer, dude. I don't. There's not too many people that I can think of in history that would have attempted this, except maybe Mick Foley. Mick Foley was also crazy. Very deranged. I don't know, man. Okay, so props to Moxley for being willing to do that, but man, it was hard to watch. Well, landing on the spikes and seeing it stick was hard enough for me to watch, but when they attempted to pull it out, that was even harder. You see skin, man.
That was freaky, dude. I was afraid that they were gonna rip too much skin out. Even Wheeler was like, "I don't want to do this. I'm not doing it. I'm getting out of here."
Some permanent damage there, man. I don't know. That was very difficult to watch when they were trying to pull it out.
Is that something they train these refs on, Vlad? These AEW refs when these situations come up?
They are medical professionals. What are you talking about?
I don't think there was any training involved. I don't know. I'm not sure what he did to get it out, but I mean, good for him that he did. But no, I mean, the thing is, I mean, we're saying that like AEW did something, good to get in the sense because they're being talked about. But are they being talked about positively? It seems like most of the stuff that I've heard is like makes them look like trash. This makes them look like garbage wrestling. For most people, most wrestling podcasts that I've heard at the very least. So I don't know. I mean, it's a thing people are talking about, but they're not talking about it in a positive way that I'm hearing. So yeah. All
right. I got you. Still, positive from you. Vlad digs this. Thumbs up from Vlad. All right, let's move along. Dude,
okay. I won't even argue.
You know what this means? It means we need more of this. Someone else needs to do this too.
I said he needs to take one to the face next time. That's what I said, didn't I?
Yeah. Tony Khan needs to start advertising this. Like if someone knew that was going to happen, we would have definitely watched. Hey, we got a big announcement. Next week, someone's taking another spike to the back. Tune in to find out who. All right. I'll definitely tune in then. All right. Let's see what I got next. Oh, before I move on to Retro Review, I'll do a quick one. NXT, since Robert's here this week. Some weeks Robert can't make it. But since we have him, since we are graced with his presence, I have an NXT topic for you, Robert. So, the new stable, DarkState. They've finally revealed their name. The Performance Center guys. I guess we were calling them the Young Performance Center Quartet. This is our NXT review, by the way. The whole thing is in the description. You could click on it to get me and Robert's reviews of everything that happened on NXT, but DarkState was actually involved in multiple storylines on this day. Robert, they were involved with Tony D'Angelo, right? In storyline number 3, they kicked Tony D'Angelo's ass, and then they also were sort of involved with the Javon Evans and Trick Williams thing at the end when the lights went out on Oba Femi, and Trick but they didn't really do anything. You know what I mean? They just kind of looked on. But anyways, so I got some thoughts about your thoughts on DarkState, on our fourth storyline here, and the fact that they revealed their name, their stable name, DarkState. They cut a promo, and they've been kind of kicking ass here and there. But let's see, Robert, I haven't given this a review yet because I haven't completed my review, but Robert gave it a thumbs down. So I guess you're not so deeply into this crew yet, huh? What are you thinking about this?
No.
Give us some thoughts on DarkState so far.
Couple things I didn't like. Well, I'm not a fan of the name. First of all, DarkState, I think they could have come up with something better. Their promo, I couldn't hear it that well, so it didn't really stick with me. I don't even remember what they said, honestly, because I had trouble hearing it. And then also, they are pretty much jumping like anybody and everybody backstage, which I think is a really bad idea, because that just means that you're gonna make enemies of the whole roster. Pretty much, they're all gonna fight back at some point. I don't think that's a good idea on their part, even though they're a crew. Then that means everybody that you're jumping can band together and fight back. Like, well, what are you trying to accomplish here? I don't know. I'm just not rolling with not just their name, but what they've been doing. Like, I don't think it's a great idea. And then plus the ending was a bit chaotic and not necessarily in a good way. I just thought the execution of it was not great, where it looked like they were about to jump Trick and Javon, maybe Oba also, but then they decided not to. I don't know. It was a really weird finish for me.
I also I don't really understand the direction they're going in here. It's
that either.
It's not very concise. It's just like it's all over the place. They're involved in too many things. They don't seem very dominant. But okay, all right. That's our DarkState, because they're a stable that we've kind of been thinking that is going to be prominent. What's been going on? They've been teasing them a lot, And here they are. Finally, I think the last episode, the most recent episode, was the first time they were kind of featured. Sorry, Vlad. Sorry to bore you, but
no.
I will make a segment about this. Our thoughts on DarkState so far. I don't know. What do you think of that as a name, Vlad? DarkState.
Awful. It's terrible.
you don't like that for a heel faction?
No. This group is. I think they're dead on arrival just based on the name.
It's tough. It's tough, Robert. I don't know. I think these guys have potential, but to throw them into a group like this.
So
okay, I think it's too soon to tell, but definitely that name sucks for sure.
So are they trying to push these guys as far as like make them the centerpiece of the show in the sense of like?
No, not at all, bro. They've been doing like random sneak attacks every now and then, not very consistently.
But to main guys on that show,
no, like mostly tag team guys. But they started getting into some upper card guys recently, just on the last show. So, but I don't know. They don't seem as dominant as they make themselves out to be, and I don't think they should be presented like this. I don't know. I think they should just join the roster and try to work their way up the ranks. You know what I mean?
so they shouldn't have this hostile takeover thing that they got going.
Yeah, well, do it if you can do a hostile takeover, but it doesn't seem like they're doing it really. But okay, all right, I'm moving along. Sorry, Vlad. I wanted a 5-minute clip of NXT to post. We haven't done NXT in a while, but me and Robert do review this, so all our reviews are in the description below of all the storylines from this past week's NXT. Oh, fuck it. There's a lot of good stuff on this show, man. There's a lot of good stuff. Yeah. Although this past episode, though, I think wasn't one of the best ones. But I'm going to move along. All right, so our next topic. Vlad, welcome back to the show. Sorry about that. So let's jump back to our retro review. So we're going to do October 14th, 1996 WWF Raw. But before we get there, the weekend before that, I thought there was a couple of interesting things that I can show you guys. Well, the Livewire clip they replayed on Raw, right? So you guys saw the episode of Raw, but I guess I could play. I did want to play the Ahmed Johnson Farooq thing as a little watch along because it's only a minute long. So hold on one second. Let me pull this up for you guys. I did a little Livewire page, by the way. Vlad's review is on here for this. Half a thumbs up for Vlad on this review. This what is going on with Ahmed Johnson and Farooq? So Ahmed Johnson is away on what is he? He's had kidney problems, but they made it a storyline on the show that that he got his ass kicked by Ahmed Johnson. So they're waiting for him to come back, and they're just doing a little promo here, a little promo battle. So I'm gonna press play on this as a little watch along.
On Livewire here on USA, Ahmed Johnson was our guest, and Farooq had his first interaction with Ahmed. Listen to this conversation.
I do have something to say to Ahmed Johnson. He's had a great future in the WWF, and I wish him well in his other life.
Let me tell you something, son. First of all, I'm not taking nothing from you, Farooq, okay? 5-time All-American. You know he was ranked, he was number 5 on the Heisman Trophy list.
Outman Trophy candidate.
Great, outstanding athlete.
Lombardi
son, let me tell you something. That's great, but that ain't gonna stop me for 1 second from putting my foot in your ass.
Okay, well,
you understand that?
Hey,
do you understand that?
No, you understand.
Do you understand that? But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm not even mad at you. Like Tupac said, dog, I ain't mad at you. Because what you did, you woke me up. Because now I know. Now I know in the WWF, I got to walk it alone. Now I know I got to watch my back. See, what you did, you helped me, son. You didn't even know it.
Hey, bro, it ain't about being mad. It's about winning. And you know for yourself, we both have similar backgrounds. Raised in the streets. There are no guidelines in the streets. Come on, man. There are no rules. Hey, and like you said, man, when the racism, when it gets into the ring, everybody runs up to me. How can you do that to another brother? If a brother is in that ring trying to defeat me and to get what I'm trying to obtain, I don't care what color he is. He can be clear for all I care. And he was just another man.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I said I ain't mad at you, dog, but once again, we must settle this. Whether it be in the ring or out the ring, it got to be settled because you know you're from the streets. I can't let you walk around, man, doing something like that to me. My reputation's on the line. You cannot embarrass me or the Purple Pack. You got to pay.
Let have them set when the match is set and the stage is set. All of that.
Where you at? I come now. Where you at now? You I come to your house.
You know,
I'll come to your house.
I'll come to your house tonight.
You know what? You should have Lawrence Welk on that show this morning and playing violins, all those sob stories I hear. What would a woman want with a half a man? Hey, I hope your other kidney's in good shape.
Okay. We're going to find out.
Hey, it's all you know. It's all good. Just bring it on, man. You know?
I hope your other kidney's in good shape. Damn. Hey, so these guys, Vlad, do you guys remember are they Nation of Domination, both of them? Somehow they become allies? Was Farooq in the Nation of Domination or no?
He was the leader for sure. Ahmed, yes, he does eventually. I think he turns heel at some point, but I don't think it's like at this any. Well, actually, I don't know when that happens, but it does happen. You're right.
Interesting. So somehow, after all this hatred, they're gonna become aligned together still. I was thinking that earlier today while I was driving home from work. Because I was thinking that I thought I was gonna start the show with this segment, but I was like, nah, let's start with Cena. Cena's promo.
You were gonna start with it. Wow.
No, wow.
I was gonna start the show with this. This was bomb. He's like, where you at? I'll come to your house right now. Like, this is good stuff. I really like this. And Vlad gave it a half thumbs up actually. So Vlad's rating on this. I gave it a thumbs up. Okay, so this is an ongoing storyline that I don't know if it's going to come to a head. I don't really know what's coming up in terms of a lot of things. So I'm just following it, like as if I was following it back then. So that's why I'm covering it here. We've covered it on our WWF reviews. If anyone has missed any of our coverage of post SummerSlam 1996, there is a playlist in the description below with it from the very beginning. And yes, from the very first episode that we've done this, Farooq is waiting for Ahmed Johnson to come back to supposedly get revenge for attacking his kidney and putting him out. But that was a real life illness. But okay. So Livewire. All right, clip from Livewire. Interesting. Superstars. This was from Sunday. So this is the day before the episode we're going to review right now. And I wanted to play some of Stone Cold's clip because he has a thing with Mr. Perfect. So I don't know if you guys saw this. I did send you a link. But here's my review. Here's my review of Superstars, which was like their secondary show. It's like their WCW Saturday Night. But much like WCW Saturday Night, it was like their main show for a long while, right? Before they got Raw.
Before Raw, that's correct.
So, okay, let me see what I could do. So I got Stone Cold, and for some reason, Stone Cold and Mr. Perfect in the commentators table. So let's listen to some of that as the show opens up.
And welcome to WWF Superstars right here on the USA Network. I'm Jim Ross alongside Mr. Perfect, and we've got Stone Cold Steve Austin here with us. And I'm assuming that it's only 7 days, 1 week, from the time you're going to be Savio Vega in Indianapolis at Buried Alive, you're here for those shoutings.
Well, if I look a little ticked off, I think everybody knows that I've been running Bret Hart down on worldwide television for quite some time. And being the coward that he is, he hasn't said one damn thing back to me. Savio Vega's like a cockroach. You can send the exterminator to the house, but he keeps coming back.
All right, so I gotta fill the people in on some stuff. So he's in the midst of running down Bret Hart every chance he gets. So he threw that in there. So Bret's not gonna show up here. But if you want to make a compilation DVD of him, his feud with Bret Hart, I guess you can include this segment. Also, Savio Vega. I don't know why they've been fighting in the past, but I think they don't have anything for him to do at this Sunday's pay-per-view, Buried Alive. So they booked him against Savio Vega again. So okay, just so you know who he's facing on Sunday. This says we're gonna do Raw today, and then the next one we got after that is Buried Alive, and Stone Cold is facing Savio Vega. All right, so Mr. Perfect is also on commentary. I don't know why they got both of them here, but they're gonna butt heads real bad. So I'm gonna play some of this.
Give him all the credit in the world for stepping to the plate. But you keep stepping to the plate, son, and I keep knocking your ass right back down.
Let me ask you something, Steve Austin. I'm going to tell you right now, I've been in the ring, and I know Bret Hart a lot more than you do. Believe me, if he ever decides to come back, and I don't know if he is or he isn't, he will not back down from any offers that you put up to him.
He won't back down, right?
That's right.
So you're supposed to be the know-it-all.
All right, gentlemen.
You used to be in the ring. You're sitting right here. You're gonna tell Stone Cold what's going on in the ring.
I'm just giving you a little bit of advice, like I do.
I'm gonna give you some advice and just shut the hell up.
Hey, wait a second. Gentlemen, please. Let's maintain some sort of decorum here. We've got Salvatore here.
All right. So Savio Vega's coming out. I guess that's why Stone Cold is on commentary for this match, because he's scouting out his next opponent. But let's see. I'm gonna play some of this match, but Stone Cold and Mr. Perfect are still jaw-jacking during the match.
Yeah, hell, I ain't giving you no.
What kind of advice did you give to Mr. Perfect?
I gave Helmsley some advice.
Look out, Poscast here!
Oh, by the way, Mr. Perfect has been giving Mark Miro advice because he's so perfect. He gave Mark Miro advice, and Mark Miro became Intercontinental Champion. So Stone Cold was saying, if I gave Triple H advice to beat you next Monday, and then that sets off Mr. Perfect, what are you going to tell Triple H?
We got a cover! We got a pin! No, we don't! Near fall situation by Savio Vega scooping up Salvatore Sincere, and Vega misses the elbow. Let me ask you something, Stone Cold. What kind of advice could you give to Helmsley?
A lot. But to beat you, it wouldn't take much.
Oh, really? You've never been in the ring with me before. So don't you tell me how easy it'd be to beat me.
Perfect. I'm looking at you right now.
Yeah, I'm looking back at you.
And if they turn this damn mountain girl, I'll whip your ass.
Here, gentlemen, tell you what, I take this suit and tie off. They're going to come on glued, Austin, because everybody's waiting for Mr. Perfect. They want to see Mr. Perfect.
I do. Mr. Perfect was a thing of the past, son.
Is that right?
Mr. Has-Been right now.
Is that right? You want to call me a has-been?
I'm calling you a has-been right now.
Wait a minute, that's enough.
Stone Cold's the hottest wrestler.
Yeah, and you're a wannabe.
In the world.
You're a wannabe.
You think so?
Wow, what a gem. What a gem of a scene, huh? On WWF Superstars on Sunday morning. Can you believe this? I by chance, because I haven't really been following the Superstar stuff between Raw, but by chance I ran into this. Anyway, so they come back from commercial, and these guys are going to go at it even worse.
I'd whip man's ass. I'd whip Perfect's ass. Anybody that gets in the ring.
Hey, don't you say you can whip my ass unless you've done it, Austin. Believing is believing. When you do it, what up top there by Savio Vega?
You back to Minnesota in a box.
And Savio misses a...
What? I'm going to send you back to Minnesota in a box.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. We're trying to maintain some decorum here. You're going to put me in a box?
Stand up to me.
You're going to put me in a box and me back to Minnesota box?
Wait a second, you better bow down. Yeah, I'm all bowed up. You're just in your face, you about it, my boy. Because there's no way you anything I've ever done. I've been there already. I've already been there. You want to do it, Mr. Perfect, get in the World Wrestling Federation, you go out and earn it, punk. You're a piece of garbage. Is that right? Don't push me any further.
I have a comment. I have a comment. I gotta say something.
I have comments about this too.
Now, wasn't this, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember this now because it's been too long, but wasn't this like a Saturday morning show, like more kids friendly? Very, from my recollection, this was a Saturday morning show. I could be wrong. But this is not for, this specific segment is definitely not for kids with Austin and Henning.
I don't know about this one, but because this was on USA.
Yeah, that's right.
But there was a Saturday morning show. I don't remember what it was called, though.
This was Sunday, Vlad. Sunday morning.
Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. Sunday morning. Okay, same thing.
Well, yeah, kids aren't at school, they're at home. But so what do you think of them, for some reason, putting these two, like, giant egos just together, just to fucking clash like this? It seems kind of like not something you would do, you know what I mean? Because they were just go ahead, go out there and see who could get the best of each other, and talk shit. And it's an incredible segment, I think. I really am impressed by this. And considering who's in it, and I think we're not going to get a Stone Cold Perfect feud because Perfect is leaving. But this just shows like the potential of what could have been if there was a possibility. This is a good idea for a booking. Maybe they were setting it up. Like maybe they were thinking if Perfect was going to stay in the long run, so.
Well, we obviously, Steve Austin is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, but I think people don't have a great recollection of how good Curt Hennig was. Curt Hennig was tremendous. So this was a great segment. I absolutely loved this, honestly. So I don't have much negative to say about it. I just wish, in some sense, I kind of do wish Hennig was in WWF during the Monday Night Wars, but I think it makes sense that he was in WCW.
Well, yeah, they definitely made him very prevalent in that NWO storyline. But okay, so what happens is Jim Ross breaks him up. So Jim Ross kind of convinces Stone Cold to kind of get away from this situation. And since Savio Vega's in the ring, he runs over to the ring, jumps the guardrail, and he's just going to go be like a heel and fuck with Savio Vega just because he has a match with him on Sunday. So, he trips him up, acts like a dickhole, and then he's still he costs Savio Vega, does a little bit more. I think what does he do when Savio's on the ring apron? I think he pulls him off the apron, and that was like enough to cost him against Salvador Sincere. Man, when you cost someone to make them take a loss against Salvador Sincere, that really fucking sucks. But okay, so Stone Cold being an asshole here. It's just kind of funny to me, him being just a heel jerk against mid-card talent like Mark Miro or fucking Savio Vega. It's pretty funny. Okay, so that's all I got on this one, Stone Cold. So that's a little bonus segment. I don't think any of you guys saw that. One other thing from Superstars, just to show like things happen. There was a thing that was very interesting to me. Crush, Vlad. What was he called in WCW again? He was called
Brian Adams.
Just his name. Okay. All right. So on this episode, because I guess in his character had like been to jail or whatever. So there's a guy in the audience who has a sign calling him a loser jailbird, and and Clarence Mason is his manager. And he's telling him like, no, don't worry about this guy. But he really like can't take it. Like he's sensitive, right? So he's fighting Freddie Joe Floyd, and he keeps looking at this fucking fan. And I don't know. I thought this was kind of an interesting little storyline. I want to hear what your take on it is, or what your guys' take on it, because
he should get take pointers from Dominic Mysterio. Dominic handles it much better. No, he definitely, this guy couldn't handle it, because after he wins the match, he goes over there and
and he like loses his temper, and he grabs this guy and pulls him over the guardrail. So he grabs a fan and starts beating his ass. So
now I see. Okay. Got it. Okay.
And then security, like, look, these guys look like actual, like, police security kind of. They come and break it up, so they try to make it look realistic a little bit. So interesting little segment there. What do you think of them using a fan as a plant in an angle like this? I'll start with Vlad.
I'm sure it's been done throughout the history of the business. It's not revolutionary. I don't really know enough about or remember much about the character Crush. I mean, it's weird because, well, I will say, unlike Dominic Mysterio, Crush does look like a guy that could serve time in jail or has been in jail. I'll say that much for him. But other than that, I don't really remember much about this. But yeah, this was cool. I mean, you don't mind them using a plant like this in the audience? Like, you think that's okay? No, yeah, I think it's fine to get some, I guess, a story over. Yeah, but probably not for someone like, I probably wouldn't have done it for Crush because I can't remember him doing much of anything.
I think the thought came across to my mind, you could tell me if you disagree or agree with me, Robert, is when you do this, you kind of make fans think, like, if someone doesn't know this is a work, they kind of think that maybe they can get involved with wrestlers on the outside and jaw jack with them or touch them or get involved in a storyline. So that's why I think it's kind of dangerous to do things like this.
No, I disagree. As long as it's really a plant, then, people should know it's a work. And as long as it's not an actual just, fan, then it's fine. It's fair game.
Yeah.
So, I don't have any problems with it at all.
All right, interesting that I was the only one who thought that out of the three of us. Okay, cool. That was a little bonus WWF Superstars from October 13th. Let's get to the main event. So I'm not going to go through a lot of these like very deeply. I got a couple little short clips as watch-alongs, but this is WWF Raw from 1996, October 14th. If anyone wants to follow along with the blog post, we all have reviewed all of this in blog post form, which is kind of fun to look at the thumbs up, thumbs down ratings and stuff. But I'll go through a few of the storylines here. But I'll just mention also that last year we reviewed the WCW Nitro from this exact day, October 14th, 1996. So we've already done this on episode 94 of the Malapert Smark Podcast. So if anyone wants to see that, if anyone's interested in that, that's in the description below again. See how organized I keep this, guys? On the WCW side of things, the Macho Man and Hogan, great feud. I mean, you guys were along for the ride for that. We have watch-alongs of that in the playlist in the description below, where Robert watched the whole entire feud for Halloween Havoc for Macho Man and Hogan. Great stuff. So WWF has got a lot to compete with here. The great Nick Patrick referee storyline where he's... is he NWO? Is he not NWO? I think this was also the day where the Nasty Boys got kicked out of the NWO, but they were only in there for like a couple weeks. But still, funny little segment. But yeah, so the link to this is in the description if anyone's interested in that or hadn't seen it. So we did cover that. But for today, let's move on to the Monday Night Raw from October 14th. Big main event. So they've already advertised Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold in the main event, which becomes a WrestleMania WrestleMania match for a main event match, right? A WrestleMania main. Sorry, I got distracted by my dog for a second. So this actually is a WrestleMania main event in the future. So looking back on this retrospectively, this is a really marquee main event matchup. I don't know if you think it is at the time. They kind of make it out to be. I'll play a little clip of the opening promo where they really talk up the main event. But let's see what we got here. So I'm going to jump to storyline number 1. So let's start with storyline number 1. So Jake the Snake stuff with Jerry Lawler. All right, so this is one that I do want to go over what happened. I'm not really going to play anything, but I'll just play real quick some images. So conspicuous by his absence to open the show on commentary is Jerry the King Lawler, because he's in a match, because he's been doing commentary. for these guys for the recent weeks. I don't know for how long, but for as long as I've been watching since SummerSlam in '96. So, okay, so he's fighting Jake the Snake, who he already fought at SummerSlam, but they're doing a return match here. And he has been saying that Jake the Snake has been drinking again. You know, he's been saying that. He said that last week, so that was kind of something I glossed over in my review. But I was kind of annoyed about this storyline because I didn't really know where it was headed, and I'm not really sure I like where it headed very much. I think it was good, but I don't know if the payoff was worth it. But okay, so Jerry Lawler's in the ring, cracking himself up, laughing, and then Jake comes out looking drunk. He's got a freaking bottle, like a flask in his hand, and a brown paper bag. In his tights, in his wrestling tights. So I guess he's and Jerry Lawler's like, look, I told you so. This guy's freaking drunk, right? He's got the bottle with him. So the WWF president, Gorilla Monsoon, has to come out and check on him, right? He has to check if he's okay, if he's able to wrestle. And that's where Jake tells him, like, yeah, man, I'm just fucking around. I just want to fuck this guy up, right? Just let me fight. And then this is what Vlad commented when Gorilla Monsoon was like, yep, I got you.
That was great. That part was actually my favorite part of the whole thing.
Do it. Fuck his ass up. He's an asshole. Do it. Right? So Gorilla Monsoon was in on it. He let him start the match. He didn't tell anyone that he wasn't drunk, though. And then immediately, King runs in, hard kick to the stomach. It looked good. And a DDT, and that's the end. So squash match, pretty much. I guess you could call that a squash, right, Vlad?
Yeah.
Squash. So, and then he gets the alcohol and pours it all over King's face. So there you go. He got something back. Oh, and then he did the snake thing too. So
the snake.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler took the snake, so you could see his face here. He's like, oh my god. There he is. All right, so interesting little segment. I got some reviews from all three of us. Robert did join the review today, so we have a rating from him. Let's see what we got. Half thumbs up from all three of us. Okay. See, I kind of liked it, but I don't know if it was worth doing this whole alcohol angle. Oh, this guy's an alcoholic and this and that. Like, for this payoff, the Gorilla Monsoon thing was a cool little thing, like a cool little moment. But it didn't warrant me giving more than a half thumbs up, I guess. So I guess I'll get some comments from Robert first. Robert, any comments from you before we move along from this?
Yeah, I mean, it was not bad. But the one thing I didn't like was when Jerry Lawler was, I don't know, for like a whole minute or two talking crap about Jake Roberts. But I couldn't hear him because the commentary, Jim Ross and whoever else was there, I don't even remember what they said.
They were talking over it, right?
Yeah, they were talking over the promo. They were talking over Jerry Lawler. I wanted to hear what Jerry Lawler had to say, and I couldn't hear it. That was like my main issue with this segment.
I have seen that before too in this time period, Vlad. There was a couple of promos where, Bob Backlund was talking one time, and they didn't care. They just were talking over him. So there's maybe it's for certain people where like, we don't really care what he's saying. He's being a heel. So fuck it. We're just going to carry on with the show. But okay. Vlad, your comments before we get out of this one and move on to the Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels main event.
Sure. I thought it was cool. I mean, historically, I'm a fan of both Jerry Lawler and Jake Roberts. And Jake definitely pulled off appearing drunk quite well. I think he has some experience with that for some reason. I think he's been drunk in real life before many times. I have that feeling. I don't know why I have that feeling. I don't, no, but I'm just joking around. Obviously, we know he has some history of substance abuse and whatnot, but I don't want to make a mockery of it, but, it was kind of, I had to mention that he sold it quite well. Okay. It was kind of a weird thing that they kept putting on TV. I didn't think it really needed this could have been a Superstars. This was not something that I would put on Raw, to be honest with you. But whatever, it was cool. I mean, these are two legends for sure, but yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Okay, cool. Moving on to our second storyline from Raw. I think there's only 6 total, and I'm not even going to cover all of them in detail. But I want to move on to the main event. which had to do with a lot of other things, which I'll cover right now real quick, because they did advertise that Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels are in the main event. And you know what? I'll do a watch-along of the opening video package. How about that? So
Sure.
This was what promoted the match when the show opened.
He's vicious. He's vile.
I just whipped your ass.
He shows no remorse.
Get that piece of crap out of my ring.
He knows no mercy. He's Stone Cold. Shawn Michaels has braved the challenge of every predator in the World Wrestling Federation. But lately, the champion looks beatable. Have the battles finally taken their toll? Stone Cold smells blood.
This isn't a good book, son. This is Austin 3:16. And tonight, Shawn Michaels, I'm going to whip your ass.
Jeez. Well, they really tried to push Stone Cold here, right? I guess the push is pretty much starting. It's not heavy, but shit, they really made him sound prevalent here. And Shawn Michaels is involved in other storylines, namely Vader and Sid are on his tail. I guess they're going to have a #1 contenders match, and the winner will face Shawn. So that's all going to bleed into this match, because this match is such a marquee matchup. I don't think they wanted it to have really a clean ending on this show, but I'll get your comments on the ending when we get there. But let me move along. So we'll start with the Vader match. Okay, so the Vader match, Vader fought earlier in the card. Okay, I'm not going to really go over it, but he did have a match against Phineas Godwin from the Godwins. But Henry Godwin brought a dog with him. I don't know if you guys noticed this.
Yes, I did notice that.
Do you see this little cute dog?
Yes, with the close-up of it. This dog looks horrified.
Yeah. Well, it was an idea. It's always an idea to bring a cute dog on the show, but okay. So Vader gets a win against one of the Godwin brothers, and the one who becomes Midian. This is Midian. So, but Sid did enter. So Sid and Vader are in the middle of a crazy feud, and both of these guys are going to enter the fray during that Stone Cold Shawn Michaels match that we've been waiting for. So Vader wins. Cornette is happy. Moving along. Later on in the show, let me see. I'm skipping a bunch of stuff. Oh, the Stone Cold promo. Okay. Stone Cold's promo is always something good to play. Let's play that.
By Stone Cold, I understand you have something to say to Bret Hart.
You know, Hitman, since you weren't man enough to face Stone Cold, later on tonight, I'm going to whip the man's ass who whipped your ass. Austin 3:16, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
That great match is still to come.
Stone Cold, his character is not fully developed yet, but he's still really freaking funny. So he's still talking shit about Bret Hart. Okay, so the Bret Hart thing is a running little storyline here. No matter what he's involved in, he's always got to throw in, like, fuck Bret Hart, right? I want Bret Hart's ass. So here he comes out for the main event. All right, so this is, if anyone knew, did you know at the time, Vlad, that this was going to be the WrestleMania 14 main event with Mike Tyson as the special enforcer?
Of course I did. I see 2 years into the future. No, obviously, I never thought that. No, I don't think anyone thought that Steve Austin would reach the level that he reached in his wrestling career.
So I think this is the last time, by the way, he uses the Ringmaster theme song, because I cheated a little bit. I saw some of Buried Alive, and he's got his new theme song when Buried Alive kicks in.
Which had the broken glass already, no? Or no?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one. So this is the last time he has that lame Ringmaster theme song, which really got him nothing. But okay, so Shawn Michaels is coming out. Cornette's watching in the back with Vader, because they got a vested interest in what happens to Shawn Michaels, right? So okay, so this was a match. I'm not going to do a watch along for this whole match. I mean, you guys saw it. If anyone wants to go see it, you got to go find Raw. I'm sorry. I don't know where it's at now. Vlad, you say some of it's on Netflix or something?
This one's on Netflix.
This one is, yeah.
I guess. Okay. Who knows how long it will be. You got to find this stuff wherever it's streamed. If you guys are watching this 50 years in the future, Good luck finding this episode of Raw. You know, it's got to be somewhere, but okay. Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold. All right. I don't know if anyone wants to comment on the work before I get to like the ending of it, but I thought. Yeah. I mean, Stone Cold is a great worker. Shawn Michaels is a great worker. Yeah. I think none of it was bad. None of it was bad. None of it was really like amazing because I don't think there wasn't really a story to tell with these two today. But they did put on a decent wrestling match. But Sid did a promo in the back as well. Cornette did. Sid did. Okay, so this is the end of the match. Okay, so. Interesting to me that this got called as a DQ, by the way, because Vader comes in, he doesn't like Shawn, and then Shawn leaps off the top or the middle rope and hits Vader and starts pummeling Vader, and the ref already calls for the bell. Like the ref's like, someone's in the ring, this is commotion, chaos. Like nowadays, they don't call for the bell unless someone is like struck, right, or touched or hit or something. So I think they called for the bell a little too early here. So they already called this a DQ as soon as Vader was in there. I did see this often though in this time period. Like as soon as someone's in the ring, the ref's like, no, I'm calling this match. You know what I mean? Nowadays there could be someone involved for quite a while as long as they don't actually hit the guy. You know, it doesn't really matter. But okay, so Stone Cold. This was another thing that I was confused about, Vlad. Stone Cold, after Vader caused him to get disqualified, didn't really get mad at Vader. He just kind of continued on fighting with Shawn with Vader. So he kind of like made a little alliance with Vader. Didn't care. He's like, oh, this guy got me disqualified. Didn't really matter. He just continued on fighting.
It was a non-title match. I don't think it made much of a difference who wins or loses this one.
It doesn't make a difference who wins a non-title. If you beat the champion in a non-title match, you get a title shot. It's an important match. So I don't know. I thought they kind of glossed over the ending, like made it seem like it wasn't important who won, when I really think it is. You know, so I kind of that detracted from this for me. But okay, so this is the big melee at the end. So there's a big melee that ends Raw, much like the SmackDown show that we discussed earlier today. But Savio Vega comes in, Stone Cold's opponent for Sunday night. He gets stunnered. Sid comes in, runs off Vader. Shawn Michaels, he doesn't know if Sid is on his side or what's going on. And for some reason, Razor Ramon and Diesel are there too. Which I think last week I complimented that storyline that at least they weren't in the main event storylines, and now I'm eating my words because here they are in the main event storyline. Oh, the fake Razor and the fake Diesel. Okay, so they're there watching, but they don't really get involved. But Sid and Shawn, this is a good moment of just like characters. You know what I mean? Like the way they look. Sid is just a great looking character, but Sid and Shawn end up clearing the ring to end the show. So the baby faces stand tall, and Sid and Shawn are there to end the show and make everyone feel good and celebrate. So okay, so this whole thing, this was a big mess. I wrote all the details on my review, but here's the details of everything I just mentioned. But our review, so let me see. Vlad actually gave this a thumbs up, retrospective review. Vlad likes this. Robert, half a thumbs up, and me indifferent because of all the things I said, like the DQ finish and, you know, Stone Cold aligning with Vader all of a sudden and not being mad at Vader. So I thought there was some logical holes that, to me, I was upset with. That it would have made me kind of just not like this show. You know, all the hype and everything. But, okay, I'll start with Vlad. Vlad, you go first. Give us some thoughts about Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold, WWF Raw.
Well, obviously, the work was solid. It was a TV match. They really didn't give that much time, and they cut to promos numerous times during the match, really making it seem like they didn't really care what happened in this match. So when there was a DQ at the end, I wasn't really that surprised. I think the criticism that you had, I don't know. I didn't really feel like it was a big deal. It was just like two heels working together to beat down the babyface. I didn't really have an issue with it, to be honest with you. Right, but it also had the the trope that you didn't like, right? That the Cornette and Vader were analyzing the match on TV, so automatically you should have given it a thumbs down.
Oh my God, you're right.
No, but whatever. This was okay, but it was just okay. I mean, I like the Sid and Shawn part because, well, I mean, I do know what happens next, and I'm not sure if you guys do or not. It doesn't matter. But there are some cool things that happen with Shawn and Sid coming up, so I think that's all right.
And the thing about Cornette looking at the monitor in the back and watching the footage or watching the match and scouting it, it's not like the thing they do where they just like they're just watching and they got their arms crossed and they got a camera on them like a photo op watching. He's cutting a promo. He's all excited. No, this is not the same thing. This was good. I didn't get that thought from Cornette's promo here.
Okay, got it. Well, Vader's just watching the TV. Vader didn't even turn around.
That's pretty damn funny. Robert, thoughts from you on Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels, an early preview of WrestleMania 14?
I was kind of disappointed. This was really the reason why I even watched this episode.
Yeah, I told you last week.
Because the announcement of Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold. For the brief period where they actually did wrestle, it was good, and that's really where my half thumbs up comes from. For the rest of it, I don't know. I think first of all, the match itself was a little too short for my liking, and also what happens, after the DQ. It felt like a very overbooked ending. I don't know. I didn't really care for it that much. They hyped up this match throughout the episode as one of the best Raw matches in their history, and then that's all we got. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But for the brief period that they did work together, I did enjoy.
Okay, cool. Good stuff. All right. I'm loving the analysis. Let me move on. I got a couple more, and that's it. Let's see what we got next. I think the next one is the Mr. Perfect stuff and Triple H. And I'm really interested to see where this is going to go next week because it's coming to a head. Next Monday, they're supposed to have a match. Okay.
I finally remember what happened. It finally dawned on me. But I won't spoil this.
Well, don't tell me. Yeah, I'm watching this like as if it's the first time. So for me, this is great stuff. But yes, Triple H and Mr. Perfect, again, let's go through a couple images to show what happened for the peoples. This is something that we've been following, by the way, on our channel. So I have our SummerSlam playlist. This is all over it. So this has been continuing on. Mr. Perfect supposedly is coming back. He's coming back, and they've been really promoting the hell out of it. So here's an in-ring promo, and Mr. Perfect is in there with JR. And JR, I'm not going to play this one, but they're really good at using the the word perfect as a good metaphor for him, like nonstop. Any way they can put it. How perfect are you feeling? Are you 90% perfect? Are you 70%? Any chance they have to use the word perfect?
Which is stupid. Are you 90% perfect or 70% perfect? What the hell? Okay. Right.
So here's the match later on. Triple H is coming out with another woman. Vince McMahon in the last pay-per-view said they're escorts, straight up. So
really? I don't remember that. Like escorts?
Yeah, that's what he called them. He's like his escort.
Escorting the wrestlers to the ring.
I guess. Maybe. Yeah, that's what Vince said when he was on commentary during Mind Games. He says, Mr. Perfect keeps stealing Triple H's escorts. So okay. So let me go through what happened here because this was a little interesting, Vlad, a little thing that I want to nitpick at in terms of, here's a Triple H curtsy, by the way. So Triple H this time, he handcuffs his girl because he's like, I'm not letting Mr. Perfect steal my girl this time. So he literally gets a handcuff and handcuffs her to the ring, right? So what happens is he's facing off against... who the hell was it? Freddie Joe Floyd again. Okay, Freddie Joe Floyd, a second night in a row.
Poor guy.
So his girl is watching on, and then Mr. Perfect comes in. So again, he's gonna just come in, swoop in, and he shows Triple H, I got the key. Like, where the fuck did he get the key to that specific handcuff? And then we see that I guess there was a security guard in the audience that Perfect is like, cool with. So he got the key from that. I don't know if that makes sense. You see, there's my logical plot hole. Like, why did this guy have that specific key? Is every handcuff key exactly the same? Can you just buy one handcuff key and it unlocks any handcuff? Or what? Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too deeply into this. But this didn't cost Triple H. So usually it costed Triple H these Mr. Perfect incursions. But Freddie Joe Floyd, I guess he could beat. And then he runs after Mr. Perfect, but he gets clocked in the face. And then the girl, I don't know if she was meant to be like worried or look worried about Triple H, but she was kind of a bad actress. Like, you could see she's kind of smiling here, and Kurt Hennig pulls her off. So there's the last segment on Raw before next week. They're supposed to supposedly have a match. Oh, the commercial. This was the commercial I was gonna play for you guys. I don't know if this was on your feed, but
he is the very definition of the word, the picture of perfection.
Yeah, it was.
They played this on there. Okay, so they're really like promoting this match is gonna happen. So I already know this match doesn't happen, but I'm just showing this to show like how much they're really trying to promote this Mr. Perfect heel turn. Like, if it actually, or not heel turn, but return, and if it actually happened, I think you could say they did a great job of setting it up, right? I mean, but that's the risk you play of like taking so long to set something up, because if it doesn't happen, then it just blows up in your face.
Competition, he excels, whether it's on the football field, on the baseball diamond, or in the ring. And now, arguably the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time steps back into the ring to teach this American blue blood a lesson in perfection. Mr. Perfect battles Hunter Hearst Helmsley. It's Raw, it's live, and it's next week.
Yeah, all right. So we're going to get that match for sure next week. All right, tune in next week on the Malapert Smark Podcast. I guess we'll review that. Well, actually, probably not next week, because next week we might have to do Buried Alive and read through the results of that. But soon. Okay, so moving along. Let me go to the fourth. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. Comments. I know we've gone through this storyline. I wanted comments on the handcuff thing specifically. I know we've gone through this storyline already, and you guys have given comments on it overall. But what did you think of the handcuff spot? Was that kind of a sellout thing, or what?
You want to go first, Robert? I
thought it was a little silly and illogical, but whatever. I mean, I guess Mr. Perfect just has the perfect plan to come out of any situation and make the perfect getaway with the girl.
He's always freaking perfect.
It was okay. I mean, it was predictable. I kind of expected that to happen, so it was all right.
All right. Well, me and Robert gave this a thumbs up, though. So still silly, but I still liked it. Vlad, a half thumbs up. Okay. So I guess he kind of liked it. Vlad, comments before I move on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to explain how he had the key, unless it was the same handcuff that police officer or whoever that guy was, right? The police officer, I believe, gave to Triple H. I don't know. Otherwise, it would make no sense. But
all right.
No, they're not. Obviously, there's not one key for each for all the handcuffs in the world. For sure. But okay,
all right.
Let's move on.
Let's not spend all day analyzing that silliness. Okay, last one I think for the day, and is this? Oh no, that was the last one. Okay, so I just want to gloss over some other things. I'm not really gonna play any clips, but the Road Dogg thing. So we played that last week. That was a segment we reviewed last week where they dragged Jeff Jarrett through the mud. He's a fraud, right? His music was fake. It was Road Dogg singing the whole time. But this time they actually introduced like a storyline thing. I don't know if you listened closely. The storyline is, the way they're putting it, Road Dogg ruined Jeff Jarrett's Intercontinental match against Shawn Michaels. So that's why Jarrett left WWF, and And Road Dogg was like, well, he brought me into WWF, so he kind of abandoned me, right? So that's why he's kind of mad and he's dragging him through the mud. That's the storyline, which I think is kind of not a good storyline. So that's why me and Vlad gave this a thumbs down. Robert an indifferent, which is kind of a bad rating as well. So I think he's being generous not to give a thumbs down, really. But, okay. So that was another...
He just doesn't care.
I don't care enough.
Yeah, it's true. Hey, if you don't care about something, that's kind of a bad thing. Like, you know, I always say these segments are a chance to pull thumbs ups from us, and if they don't do it, that's kind of a fail. But let me see what else we got. Sunny, the Sunny stuff on this show was kind of weak. She came out. I think she cut a promo. They gave her plenty of time to cut promos and stuff, but she's still loosely aligned with Farooq. Although they kind of broke up, she's like, well, I might help him sometimes. So she was on commentary for his match when he beat some guy named the Pug, which I had never heard of him.
I've never heard of that guy before in my life.
I never heard of him.
No, never.
I am a wrestling historian, and I've never heard of him.
No.
But okay.
That was the first time I've ever seen the Pug.
Oh, and the last thing is the fourth round. So this was a very lazy build-up to a Buried Alive match that they've been promoting for their pay-per-view. Is called Buried Alive. But all they did for 4 weeks was have the Undertaker and Mankind cut promos from the graveyard. I mean, good imagery. I like the imagery. Okay,
The imagery was really good. Yeah.
The imagery was really good. It just kind of sucked that that's what they did for 4 weeks in a row. It seemed kind of lazy. Like they recorded all of that maybe in one night and then just played it for 4 weeks.
For sure.
I don't know if anyone wants to comment on that because that's the last thing I got.
No, I mean, I said it before. I think I said it last week. I was already sick of these promos. I mean, they're good in a way. I mean, I think the one with Mankind, like, it was like rain, and Paul Bear was in the rain with the umbrella, and he was just talking crazy as usual with his high-pitched voice. But it was like the same thing, basically, that they've been doing, you know, Undertaker, you will never rest in peace, whatever. And it was the same thing that he's been doing all 4 weeks, basically. But yeah, definitely over it, and actually can't wait. I actually don't remember the match that well either, so I'm kind of curious how that goes, to be honest.
All right, well, on our reviews, only I gave a thumbs up. You guys were only a half thumbs up, and Orange Cassidy kind of liked it, but not too enthusiastic about it. Okay. All right. Well, that's all I got for this edition of Raw. You guys can give overall comments right now real quick before I move on to my quick honorable mentions for the day.
I didn't like this episode.
Yeah, there's not much good. There's really not much good that's currently going on in WWF at this time. This was just a very mediocre to poor show, honestly. It was just not a lot to get excited about. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
You'll give it an indifferent?
Yeah, I would say probably indifferent. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like the worst. Like, I wouldn't give it a thumbs down. Maybe the week before that was a thumbs down episode, but this was just it was just whatever.
All right. Well, I think the best stuff that I'm seeing is kind of the Triple H Mr. Perfect stuff, which is kind of sad that it's not going to come off, because it's like, damn, that's kind of one of the better things that's going on. But also the Buried Alive match, so that's another thing that's like, dude, that sold some tickets. That must have moved some tickets. Like, dude, they keep saying this Sunday someone is going to be buried alive by the pay-per-view, everyone.
And this was the first time probably something like that had happened, right? I mean, I know later on they probably have more of these super matches numerous times, but this was a first, I would imagine.
Yeah. All right. Robert, do you want to give this show an overall rating? Do you want to give it a thumbs down?
Maybe a half thumbs down.
What? We don't have that. We don't have that rating. It's got to be a thumbs down.
Didn't dislike it that much, but I'm definitely not gonna rewatch this ever again.
Well, so then maybe you were indifferent as well.
Yeah, sure.
You kind of didn't like it. I don't know. I've played around with thinking if we should give a minus 0.5 rating, but nah. You gotta either you didn't like it or you liked it, man. You gotta make a choice. But
all right, well then I didn't like it.
Thumbs down from Robert.
Right.
Thumbs down, then.
Thumbs down on October 14th. WCW was way better. All right, let me move on. Let's run through our honorable mentions. If anyone has any comments on any of these, just blurt it out because I'm not going through them very in depth. But these are some things from the week that I thought deserved a mention. So, SmackDown from the 21st, KO and Randy Orton. Looks like they're headed for a WrestleMania showdown. I thought that was good. Interesting that KO apologized, right? What did I named this segment? KO actually apologizes to Randy Orton, but Orton calls his apology half-hearted and tells KO to stick it up his ass. The rest of the WrestleMania match is happening. So, okay. I mean, it was an interesting apology. He's like, I apologize. I thought about it. I did wrong. And let's be a tag team again. And Orton said no. So, okay. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is pretty good. This was pretty good for sure. It was a good way to open. I think it opened SmackDown, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting match. Good match between two highly capable guys, two guys that are quite over. And yeah, good segment. I liked Orton here. Kevin Owens, but I think it was more Owens just trying to beg off. So it was kind of being like, no, we shouldn't even be in the feud. We know we should be. He was trying to like be more, kind of like the scared heel. That's the way I took it with the Owens.
Robert, you liking this or what?
Yeah, good way to start the show. I like it.
All right, yeah, and I predict this will end with Orton punting KO's head off his head, so that's how it's going to end. From the same SmackDown, looks like that dissolution of the old bloodline is going to happen because Jacob was pissed at Solo for fucking up his match. This is how Stone Cold should have been acting to Vader when he caused the DQ. What the fuck? You ruined my match, you motherfucker. So this I thought was very logical and well done. But I'm going to be sad to see Jacob fighting with Solo, but okay. Any thoughts or should I move on?
No, I think you're on the right track. There's something being brewing here for sure. That's, I don't know when it's going to take place, but yeah, it's brewing.
All right. Let's see what else. Oh, this one was fucking great from SmackDown. Naomi cost Jade against Liv Morgan. I like this way more than you did. I remember my ratings on this were a lot higher. If anyone wants to see our SmackDown ratings, it's in the description below. But Naomi cost Jade and then beat her ass. So the heel Naomi. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this storyline. Blurt anything out. You guys got anything to blurt out? Blurt it out. Dynamite. Oh, this was the double pin on the 4-way. Interesting. I never fucking thought about what would happen if there's two guys pinning someone when there's like a 3-way or a 4-way. I guess it's up to the booker, right? So Tony Khan decided they both win. So Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Ricochet both pinned Mark Davis at the same time. What do you think of that ending, Robert? Do you like that ending?
That's a very interesting shot there, but
there's absolutely no chance someone could get it. Both guys could get in that position. Like if in reality,
you have to zoom in.
Oh my god! I didn't notice that. Robert, I didn't notice that.
All right, you can zoom out now, bro.
Oh my god!
Man, no.
Actually, I did not notice that either until Robert mentioned it.
Good God! It's wrestling. There's so many things in wrestling, man. It's too much. It's like it's a universe of its own. I'll give a shout out to Billie Starkz. I know none of you guys want to talk about Billie Starkz, but she put on a good performance, I thought, against Mercedes. She's my girl from Ring of Honor. But it was interesting that Mercedes called out whoever trained Billie Starkz, so that's making me think if they're going to do an Athena Mercedes match, that will be interesting to me. I'm surprised at that possibility, but I'm the only one of the three of us who is excited for that, I am sure. So I'll move on. Dynamite. Also, this is for me too. Hangman Page. He said he's not going to let Swerve be champion. He said he would never let Swerve be champion again. So this is crazy. I can't believe we're going to get more Swerve and Hangman. But okay. The last thing. This is from Dynamite. It's Megan Bayne and Toni Storm. So Megan Bayne, who had kicked Toni Storm's ass on Collision. Toni Storm got the best of her on Dynamite as they had a little squabble. But I thought that was a good segment. I think they're working well together, Toni Storm and Megan Bayne. So I'm thinking that's going to be an interesting matchup at Dynasty.
Toni Storm is such an interesting performer, I have to say. She's very unique. Fighting in that dress was pretty wild. It was wild looking. I mean,
it looked really cool. I thought it looked great.
Yeah, I agree. She's a very interesting character. Like, obviously, I don't love the whole timeless thing, but
there have been we discussed this on the phone the other day. Me and Vlad did, Robert. That is timeless Toni Storm's character unbelievable. But there's been plenty of characters in wrestling history who've been completely unbelievable. Like supposedly no one would act like this.
Okay, a couple comments I have on that. So, number one, I think when she's in character in commentary, it's absolute gold for me. It's incredible. But I think her character is very 90s. That era of like the WWF mid-90s characters that they had, but most of them are cheesy, but she makes it work because she's just so good at it. It's very entertaining, so I don't mind it.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. The one I was telling Vlad about that made no sense was the Ultimate Warrior. Like, who the fuck would ever act like the Ultimate Warrior? So, okay, if you're gonna buy the Ultimate Warrior, you could buy timeless Toni Storm. They're both they're nuts in their own way, I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's been plenty of characters. The one that, to me, actually, more than Ultimate Warrior is like George the Animal Steel, who, like, he was really, like, he had some issues. In reality, I guess, in the story, like, he had some mental issues and he couldn't talk. I mean, come on. There's no way this guy could actually be a professional wrestler if he couldn't talk and he had some mental issues. But anyways, I'll leave it at that.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Malapert Smark Podcast. Thank you guys for being on. This was a great episode, I feel, because you guys were on it. If you guys weren't here, it would have sucked. But okay, our goodbyes. Please subscribe. YouTube post tab has all of our reviews from every show. So if you don't want to wait till we talk about it on Sunday, you might get it a little quicker on the YouTube post tab, and it'll have a link to all our blog posts for every show that we review. All right. And did I say subscribe? Did I say that or no?
Yeah, you did.
You did.
Well, subscribe again. Make another account and subscribe from another account too. We need
that's right. That's correct.
All right, everybody. Have fun watching Monday Night Raw tomorrow. Hopefully you catch the show before Monday Night Raw. It's like a pre-show. And have a good week watching wrestling. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys next week, hopefully.
Turn on the lights, feel the beat. Person tails can be beat. Join the crew, take your seat. Welcome to the Wrestle Heat. Malapert Smark, time to fly. Stories don't catch your eye. Talking champs till we die. The Smark's always high. Fights in this, so we say. Heroes rise till and sway. In the ring, night and day. Wrestling talk, come and stay. Malapert Smark, time to fly. Stories don't catch your eye. Talking champs till we die. The Smark's always high. Hit the mat, crash and cheer. All the news you wanna hear. Wealth and fame always near. With the crew, have no fear. Malapert Smark, time to fly. Stories don't catch your eye. Talking champs till we die. The Smark's always high. Stories catch your eye. Talking champs till we die. With the smarks always high.